Hey everyone, so in today's video we're going to be talking about and reviewing, demoing the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes, and I actually have two shades to share with you guys today. I purchased one, lost it, and then purchased another one, and then found it. Today is actually day 6 of 1 week of cream blush here on my channel, and if you guys are new to my channel, that is when I do a new cream blush review every single day for an entire week. So today's day 6, and I'll definitely make sure to leave the playlist linked down below, my 1 week of cream blush playlist. That way, if you guys would like, you can go back and check out the other blushes that I reviewed. Hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and that way I know. And of course, I hope that you guys will subscribe and check out some of my other videos. The Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes retail for around $20 a piece. You get 0.51 ounces in here. So this is definitely a more affordable product when you break it down price per ounce. So you do have to put forward a little bit more money, but it's definitely an awesome bang for your buck. And again, like I mentioned before, I have two different shades. I have the shade Golden Glow, which is a little bit more of a bronzy shade. It has a little bit of a shimmer through... The Golden Glow shade definitely has a little bit of a microfine shimmer throughout it, and it is more of a bronze shade. And the Cherub shade is a very classic rose pink. I will show you guys later in the video a demo of both shades so you can kind of get an idea of how they end up looking on my skin tone. So these watercolor blushes are meant to be very lightweight and fluid blushes that are really easy to apply to the skin, very silky and blendable. They come in these little droppers. They remind me a lot of airbrush makeup. You can hear how liquidy they are, and they definitely do feel like very thin watercolor paints. They're incredibly fluid. If you put them out on your hand, it will fall all the way down your arm. So these are very liquidy, but they have a sort of silkiness to them that I think is really nice. But the texture is very fluid, and I like more fluid textures in my makeup. They tend to look the most skin-like on my skin, at least. So let's get into the way that these actually apply to the skin. So we've talked about the formula. I tend to use a sponge. They have a glossiness to them that is undeniable. Right away, it gives you a very dewy, almost glass-like sort of look. I know glass skin has definitely been a trend. To me, this is incredibly dewy and very glassy. It's very dewy even on my dry skin. So if you have more oily skin, I think that this would be maybe a little bit too much for you. For me personally, this is ultra dewy makeup. It applies on the skin very well, and I think it looks very healthy. The one thing that I didn't mention before is that these are actually surprisingly pigmented, especially the shade Cherub. When I add just a couple drops to my hand and use a sponge to pick it up and apply it to my cheeks, I find that it's really easy to overdo it with these blushes. I would say that I don't think that is as much of the case with the Golden Glow shade. I think the Golden Glow has a little bit less pigment to it, which is why I think I prefer the Golden Glow shade. And anyway, so these have quite a lot of pigment for a watercolor blush. I kind of expected them to be less pigmented, more sheer. So because I find myself over applying these quite often, it does make me not want to reach for them as much, and there's definitely a degree of user error here. Like, full disclosure, I think that I always go overboard, but that is one thing to keep in mind. This is a personal review, obviously. I feel like if I have trouble over applying them, I tend to go very conservative with my makeup. So I think that's something very useful, at least for you guys to keep in mind, is that you really don't need a lot of this product. I feel like happens is I add a little bit and then I go to sheer it out on the rest of my cheek, and then I'm left with quite a bit of blush, like almost like a stripe of blush on my cheeks that I have to go back and then blend out. It's not a super beginner friendly blush, I think. It does give you, like, when you use the product right, it gives you a very glassy, pretty look to the skin. I think the formula is really nice. Feels a little bit oily when you first apply it. Sets down a little bit, doesn't lose all the glassiness that it has, but I do feel like it does set down a little bit into the skin, which is nice. So you don't feel like it's kind of rubbing all over the place on your skin. I think it wears a decent amount of time too. I get a full 7 hours of wear out of this, but throughout the day it does get dewier. I wish the Golden Glow shade didn't have any of the shimmer particles in it. I mentioned in some of my other videos, whenever there's a shimmer to my blush, I just feel like my skin could look smoother, and then I wish that the Cherub shade was a little bit less pigmented. So if there was a shade with the pigmentation of the Golden Glow but no shimmer like the Cherub, I feel like that would be my perfect match. I hope that you guys found today's video helpful, and definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did. And of course, I hope you'll subscribe. Check out the rest of 1 week of cream blushes here on my channel, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.